What are you looking for in a new position? This is a pretty classic interview question, and if you prepare for it adequately and you go into your interview knowing what your answer is beforehand, it is really easy to answer. However, if you wing it and on the spot you try to come up with an answer, it is really easy to say the wrong thing that might get you booted out of the process. Let's go. My name is Ben White with Ben Talks Talent. I've got 11 years experience in interviewing, hiring, recruiting, talent acquisition, and team building, and I am passionate about using my experience to help you become the best candidate possible, land your next job, and maximize your opportunity from a financial perspective when it comes to accepting a job offer. In today's video, I want to talk about a really classic interview question, how to answer it, and what you need to avoid so that you ultimately succeed in answering this interview question. But before I get into that, do me a favor, if you haven't already, take 3 seconds and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell so you never miss one of my videos. I come out with 2 to 4 of them every single week. They are free and they are designed to help you. And I would like to thank you in advance for hitting that like button. It helps me. It tells LinkedIn and YouTube that I don't suck. So let's get into the question. The question is, what are you looking for in a new role? And it's a question that is very commonly asked by HR, by recruiters, and even by hiring managers, because it's a really good way to make sure that the candidate and you are aligned in what it is they are looking for and what it is they will be doing in the new role. So if you go into it prepared, knowledgeable, it is really easy to succeed. Now, I only have 3 hard and fast rules when it comes to answering this question. There's 3 things that you got to do right. 1, you can't say something like, I want to get away from blank, if that is something you will be doing a lot of in the new role. You can't do that, you'll immediately get tossed out. The second thing is there can't be a general lack of enthusiasm and passion. Generally speaking, people buy passion. They want to hire people that they think are excited about the work. They don't want to believe people are just doing something for a check. And while we all like to get paid, who doesn't want to hire somebody who is excited about the work they're doing? So when you're giving this answer, it is also important to be enthusiastic. Now, the third thing, the last thing you can't do is you can't answer this question without hitting on heavily things that have to do with the job description and things that have to do with the culture. Let's get into some specific examples. Now, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to research the company. Go to the company website, then go to the About Us section, click on it and read through. That right there, that is question answering ammunition. Company values, company culture, their mission, things they are trying to work towards accomplishing. That right there is things you can answer into the question and you can weave that in. So for an example, if they say, Ben, what are you looking for in a new position? Be like, one of the things that I'm really passionate about is working for an organization that is mission driven. I want to work for a company who is dedicated to improving the customer experience, improving the lives of their customers. I was looking at your About Us section and it really resonated with me. I can tell that you are a company that, like me, is focused on delivering high-end quality, and that's something that I'd really like to see in my next role. That's gonna hit home, right? If a company cares about it, if you can tell they invest in that page, you can tell it's a part of who they are, linking what you're looking for in your next role to their company values and what drives them, that's an easy win. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to go to the job description and I want you to look through and I want you to take a highlighter and literally highlight. One of the things people don't do that they should is whenever you apply to a job description, copy that job description and paste it into a Word document. Sometimes after enough people apply, companies will take down the job description. They'll take down the ad. And then if you go to look up that ad later to prepare, to use it, to look at all the responsibilities, it might not be there. So copy that, print it out, put it in Word, put it in OneNote, however you organize yourself, but you want to do that so you can prepare later. Now, when you're looking at this job description, you want to look at some of the tasks and then you want to weave that into your answer, right? So let's just say, for example, I'm asked this question, and one of the things that is heavy in the job description is people management, coaching, servant leadership, growing the team. A way you can answer this is, in my next role, what I'd like to really be able to do is continue to grow in people management. Leading a group of teams, leading a group of people, that is one of the things that inspires me to wake up and start work in the morning. So what I'd like to do is work for a company where one of my principal focuses can be growing the team, developing people, and ultimately maximizing my people's potential to be the best version of themselves. What I did there is I took something that is heavy in the job description. It is clear, it is important to them, and I really hammered that home. That's what I'm looking for. Either one of those 2 things is a great way to answer the question, and if you can combine both, start by saying, I want to work for a mission-driven organization that is committed to improving the quality and the experience for their customer. And from a day-to-day perspective, I really want to be able to invest in my people. I am passionate about leading people, about growing my people, so I'd like a bigger portion of my day to be investing in my people. By doing those two things, you really answer this question in a strong way. The last thing I want to do here before we log off is I want to talk about the three things you've got to avoid. So you have to avoid a lack of enthusiasm for the role or the company. If you show a lack of enthusiasm, even if you do everything else right, you might get beaten by a candidate who is just as qualified as you, but they're enthusiastic about the role. The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure you don't go into there with no clear wants. If they ask you that question and you stutter or you don't know where you're going, you're like, that's a good question. I guess I'm looking for... That's not gonna do it. That's not gonna sell you as a candidate. You don't look like a focused person who is motivated to take this specific role, and you want that. And the last thing you have to avoid is you need to avoid saying you wanna do more blank, and that blank is something you clearly will not be doing in this role. If you say, I wanna do blank, and blank isn't in the job description, and it is not something you are gonna be doing on a day-to-day basis, what does that tell the recruiter? It tells the recruiter, Ben wants a job, it's just a different job. There you go. I hope that provided you with some value. If you get that question, if you do these things, you will absolutely crush it. Good luck in your next interview. You got this.